Hello CPE candidates, welcome to this first video in which I will explain certain grammar points that you need for Objective Proficiency Unit 1 called Ring the Changes. Now on a side note, it might be interesting to learn that ring the changes is idiom as well as many other words in that chapter, and it means to perform all permutations possible in ringing a set of tuned bells as in a bell tower of a church, or to vary the manner of performing an action or of discussing a subject. So you repeat something with variations. This is part of 1.2, the grammar clinic, in which the perfect tenses will be reviewed. And I will talk about the following perfect tenses. First of all, the present perfect simple, which might be more familiar if I simply say the present perfect. The present perfect continuous, the past perfect simple, the past perfect continuous, the future perfect simple, the future perfect continuous, and I'm going to talk about perfect tenses in combination with two modal verbs in particular. The present perfect simple is used when talking about events or situations that started in the past and are still true. For example, if you look at example 1, John has lived in Brighton for 5 years. This means that this is still true today. He started living there 5 years ago, and he's still there. You also use it when thinking about the effects of something that happened in the past. For example, I've lost my iPhone, so I have to borrow yours now. Losing the iPhone in the past obviously has an effect on the present, because I'm going to have to borrow your phone. It's also used when talking about a recent event or situation. For instance, the police officer has just called me about my lost passport. I can retrieve it later today. And finally, it is used when referring to something that will happen at some time in the near future. For instance, we can go outside as soon as I've eaten my sandwich. The present perfect continuous can sometimes be used instead of the present perfect simple, especially if you want to stress the period of time something involved. For instance, I've been working on this essay for ages, so you want to emphasize how long it's been taking you already. You also use it to refer to a situation that continues. For example, viewer ratings have been increasing steadily for that series over the past months. And number 3, to focus on the present effects of a recent event. For instance, I have been laughing so hard that my stomach hurts. So the effect of laughing very hard for a very long time is that now in the present my stomach hurts. And finally, to refer to something that has recently stopped. Have you been laughing so hard it made you cry? The past perfect simple. Well, this tense is usually used to clarify the timing of an event, specifically to refer to an event which took place before something else. So you use the past tense in these sentences. For instance, I had just opened the door when she barged in. So you see, had opened is an example of a past perfect. And then in the other part of the sentence, you use the past simple. Sometimes we also use words such as already and just, which are also associated with the present perfect simple. You might remember those: for, yet, already, since, and just. The present perfect simple, an example, I have already finished my homework. This is a sentence that we often use at school. And the past perfect simple is I had just finished my homework when Peter called. The past perfect continuous is used to stress the continuity of an event at an earlier point in time. For example, their dog had been missing for over a month when the vet called to say they could pick it up from the animal shelter. Had been missing is an example of the past perfect continuous. The future perfect simple is used to refer to events which have not yet happened but will definitely do so at a given time in the future. In the following example, the tense is used to indicate duration at a specified time in the future. Come over next weekend. We'll have been spending weekends together for 2 years. Yeah, let that sink in for a minute. Then there are two modal verbs that are often used in combination with a perfect tense, should and ought, and they're usually used to express regret about the past. For instance, we should never, and there's the perfect tense, have bought Anne that dog. So as a parent, you might be sorry. I'm the one taking care of it all the time. The second example with ought is, I'm sorry, I ought to have remembered our appointment, but I forgot to write it down in my diary. So these modal verbs in conjunction with the perfect tense are used to express regrets about the past. Okay, for more information on the perfect tenses, please go to the Grammar folder, Unit 1, on page 178 in your course book. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you for listening.